My name is Stephanie Middleton, and I am the president and founder of Break the Glass Foundation, Inc., which is a nonprofit organization. And the purpose of it and the mission is to introduce the genre of jazz to our young people. Jazz is part of our history, it's part of our community, it's part of our world, and we want the young people to know about it. Rap music and hip hop, they've done a wonderful job marketing to our students, and we want to do a better job in introducing jazz to them. So that's how the organization was born. And we started honoring legends. Frank Foster was our first honoree, and that was in 2006. And we also honored Freddie Hubbard, who was our second honoree. And we wanted to also give kids some encouragement in school. So that's how we came up with the Dr. Frank Foster Scholarship Fund, because we wanted to give them that boost to help them in college. So that's a scholarship that is actually given to high school students every year. And on our committee to select the students, we have Dr. Frank Foster and Cecilia Foster. We also have Bill Hassan, and also from WBGO, Dorthon Kirk. Last year we awarded 2 scholarships, one for a violinist, a jazz violinist. So she will be the next Regina Carter. And we also awarded the scholarship to Jarrett Center, who's a trombonist, which will be the next Slide Hampton. Now, also with the students getting the scholarships, we also had master classes last year at the festival. And conducting the master classes, we had Slide Hampton. So can you imagine being a trombonist and having the opportunity to actually study with Slide Hampton? So our Jarrett Center, our trombonist, who was the recipient of the Dr. Frank Foster Scholarship, he said it was really one of the best days of his life. His mother called me and said, "You don't realize what this has done for Jarrett, that he's been in the same school for 12 years. And he says, you know, they've never seen me. And for the very first time, they saw me. And what it did for him, it was in the newspaper that he was awarded the scholarships. He was, you know, at school, they announced that he was the winner of the scholarship. So, you know, and his mother said, you know, I never realized that he felt that way until now. So she was so glad that he had this opportunity. We have lots of legends out there, and the kids today are not aware of them. You can have people teach you, professors teach you the music, but it's something about being taught or being exposed to the masters, people that have actually lived the life, so to speak. Freddie Hubbard did a wonderful job. You know, he talked about his life. So, it's, you know, an education is more than just the music. It was some of the things that he experienced, some of the things that the kids walked away with as to mistakes that he said that he made, and that he encouraged them perhaps, you know, not to do, that his life perhaps would be a little different if he had made different choices. That in itself was a wonderful education. We had one student that had an album that he wanted signed. And I was kind of teasing him. I said, that's an album. Clearly that's your parents' album, you know, not yours. But he says, ma'am, you know, can you introduce me? You know, he wanted to meet Frank. And at that time, all of the masters happened to be in the same room together. They had all started splitting up the class. I said, not only can I do that, but I can introduce you to Slide Hampton. And he walked in the room, and it was Slide Hampton, Frank Foster, and Freddie Hubbard all there together. And he was so excited, and that was just such a wonderful moment. It made all the work and all the build up to this one day, it made it all worth it. Master classes are just that. They're for talented students and to take them to that next level. But we also wanted to introduce jazz to younger students. So we now have the Children's Jazz Series. And Jay Sennett, the drummer, composer, and radio personality, will be conducting our first Children's Jazz Series. And we will have students from different communities, from the Boys and Girls Club. We'll be sending 100 students. And we have the Barry Robinson Center, kids that are kind of struggling emotionally will also have the opportunity. So we wanted to introduce this music to students so that they will know that there's something else out there, that they have choices other than the music that they probably hear on a daily basis.
Everybody doing okay out there? You're so quiet. It's good. You know, we're going to play a little bit of music for you today. We're going to try to teach you something about jazz. And I know that for a lot of you, jazz is pretty strange because you don't get a chance to hear it a lot. Sometimes you hear it in car commercials, right? Sometimes you might hear a little bit of it in the movie. but you don't really get a chance to hear it on a lot of the radio stations that you probably listen to. But jazz is very important to our culture. It's very important in our history. It's great American music. And there's kind of a big word. It's America's indigenous music, meaning that it came from this country. And it's respected and loved all over the world. But some of what we're going to play today is going to sound a little strange to you, a little different. And some of it will sound familiar. You might hear something you know. But that's why we're here. We're here to try to teach you a little bit about this great music. So you ready to learn something?
Yes.
Oh, come on. Let's try this again. Are you ready to learn something?